So yeah, what is wholesome? What is unwholesome? The easy way to explain wholesome is just what is true, what is real, and unwholesome is what is not true, what is not real. When we're having unwholesome thoughts, that means we're being dishonest. When we're having wholesome thoughts, thoughts that are true, thoughts that are real, that's being honest. So a wholesome thought would be something like, everything's okay right now.
Mhm.
There's nothing to worry about. There's no problems. You look around your room, see there's nothing bad happening. There's no alligators trying to eat you.
Hmm. Wait, whether if something has problems or not, that's relative to people's desires, right?
Well,
So how does that come into?
the truth is that whether something is a problem or not is just dependent upon one's perspective. If they see it as a problem, then it is a problem for them.
Mhm.
If they see it as not a problem, then it's not a problem. So you have someone who's a baker who makes donuts in the morning. If they see that it's difficult, so, oh no, I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to get all this dough together and make the donuts, and it's a big deal. If they see it that way, then they're not going to enjoy making the donuts. But instead, if they wake up and say, "Yippee! Get to make some donuts. You can really enjoy it. Have fun with it. Put some funny faces on the donuts. Mix the flavors together." Now there's no problem making the donuts. We're just having fun here, making donuts.
Mhm.
So this is true for all problems in the world, and in the mind.
Interesting. So what kind of so let you say that problem depends on perception, right? So what's like in your opinion is the best perception to have or like
Well, to
the
really
most
get,
practical?
I mean, the best is to really get rid of perception altogether. To recognize we don't need all of these perceptions of the way things are, of the way things should be, of what something is or isn't.
Wait, but if you get rid of perception, wouldn't that also get rid of the awareness? Because without perception, how are you aware of the surroundings and
Well, in a way,
the
our perceptions actually cloud our awareness. So if you take a desk, right, and you see the desk, it's just a desk. That's your perception telling you, oh, there's a desk there. But the truth is that it's not just the desk. It's also firewood. We could, instead of seeing it as a desk, we could see it as a chair. We could sit on it.
Mhm. Yeah, but all that all requires seeing in the first place, right? Like
Well,
if
I
there's
didn't. I
no
didn't say get rid of seeing,
oh, what do
but
you mean by
see.
perception there?
Well,
Like interpretation?
to see seeing is just seeing. Hearing is just hearing.
Mhm.
tasting as just tasting. We don't need to perceive it as tasting good or bad, looking a certain particular way. Really, another word for perception is judgment. We're judging
Makes sense.
something as being a certain sort of thing. We're giving it an identity. And by giving it an identity, we're also giving ourselves an identity and relation to it. When you're saying this is a desk, you're also saying this is my desk.
Oh,
This is a desk that I can use.
interesting.
So, in this way, we can sort of see perceptions as unwholesome.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
They're not true.
So let's
Now,
say if we, oh, sorry, continue.
I'm just going to say now we don't need to judge perceptions as being bad, though.
Mm-hmm.
We can just see that, oh, it's just perceptions. Yeah, there's just a perception that there's a desk there. But we don't need to believe it or create an identity around it.
Yeah, makes sense. So you're saying we should acknowledge the perceptions and how it affects us, and like kind of like don't identify with those effects of perceptions.
Um, we could put it like this: don't let the perceptions bother us. We can be glad to see the perception in fact. Oh, happy to see that my mind created what is in front of me into a desk.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to see the mind create these perceptions. We don't have to feel bad about seeing that, oh, there's perceptions being made.
Oh, interesting. So let's say if like we acknowledge the perception that our mind created the perception, what are we gonna do about it next? So, like, what
Well,
about
we don't
all?
have to do anything about it, really.
Oh,
Who says you have to do anything?
yeah.
In fact, the only thing that tells us we have to do anything is this perception we have that something has to be done next.
Wait, what about the Buddhist teaching about like doing the best actions, thoughts,
Mm.
all those stuff? How does this fit into that? Like the
Well, what the Buddha talks about is dukkha and dukkha nirodha, right? So dukkha is commonly translated as suffering. Another more worthwhile translation we can use, though, is dissatisfaction. So dukkha nirodha is getting out of dissatisfaction and instead being satisfied. So these sort of worthwhile thoughts to have, because that's really where it starts. The Buddha says the mind is the forerunner, and our actions come from our thoughts.
Mhm.
So we can practice having wholesome thoughts Wholesome thoughts would be thoughts that are happy, thoughts that are joyful, and thoughts that are true. Thoughts that put the body at ease, thoughts that bring comfort to the mind, thoughts that are nurturing. But you don't really have to do anything in order to have those thoughts. You don't need to go anywhere. You can start having those thoughts right now, even while we're on this call together.
Interesting. What about like the Noble Eightfold Path, where it also talks about like actions and all those stuff?
Yeah, so again, uh, noble actions come from having noble thoughts and a noble attitude. Same thing is true with something like right livelihood. If you have wholesome thoughts like, oh, everything's okay right now, don't need to go anywhere, just take it easy, well, you're not going to go sign up to take a job where you have to poison somebody. If you're at peace, you're taking it easy, you're filling the
What
mind
about
with joy.
what about doing things that help other people?
Yeah, so it's much easier to be kind and to help others and to be friendly whenever we bring the mind to peace, whenever we have easygoing breath, whenever we have wholesome thoughts that are true. You can't help someone if you have all of these perceptions blocking the mind, making the mind think that things are one way.
Yeah, makes sense.
So the easy way to help others is to really get yourself joyful. Get yourself so filled with joy that that joy spreads out,
Hmm.
or we could say it splashes out onto other people. It's kind of like, Thai New Year, Songkran.
Uh-huh.
It just happened here.
Yeah.
It's where everybody's spraying people with water. Well, if you've got a water gun and there's no water in it, what's going to happen when you pull the trigger?
Nothing.
But if you
It's
fill
there.
yourself up with so much water and really get the mind filled with wholesome, happy, joyful thoughts and really bring body peace, then when you spray that water gun filled with joyfulness, it's a lot easier.
Interesting. So where do you get the water from?
Well, by having wholesome thoughts, that's a
Mhm.
good place to start. And by playing with the breath.
So the wholesome thoughts naturally come from the breath or come from the lack of attachment to the perception through focusing on the breath?
Well, so the wholesome thoughts are just uh, really just simple, wholesome thoughts um, that uh, we can sort of use to replace the unwholesome thoughts. So an unwholesome thought would be something like, oh, I need to do something in order to be happy. I need to go somewhere in order to be satisfied, in order to be at peace. A wholesome thought is, oh, I can just take it easy right now. can enjoy the breath right now. Don't need to worry about anything. That's a wholesome thought, and it's true. You don't need to worry about anything. In fact, that's a really worthwhile one that we can use over and over and over again. And that really is the practice, is having wholesome thoughts over and over and over and over again. And keep using those to get the body comfortable and get the mind comfortable. Don't need to worry about anything. Oh, another unwholesome thought comes up. Don't need to worry about that. And another unwholesome thought comes up. Oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Don't need to worry about that. Okay. This is good enough. This is all right. These are the kind of wholesome thoughts that we can have. Oh, but what about this? What about that? Ah, it's okay. Don't need to worry about that. All right. And just take
So
it
if
easy.
like let's say in an extreme case, for example, if like the building's on fire and your mind says, "Oh, you should run," should we just like say, "Oh, it's okay," or
Well,
something like
so
that?
that's an unwholesome thought. Is that there's an extreme case, some far away in the future, an extreme case. You can just say, "Oh, don't need to worry about that extreme case. You can just take it easy right now." Very glad to not be in that extreme case where the building is on fire. That's far away from this reality. What we're doing is we're bringing the mind to this body right now. We're bringing our attention to the breath as it's happening in this moment. So much of what the mind wants to do is distract from that and say, well, think about this thing in the future, or worry about what happened in the past.
So what's the benefit of bringing the mind to the body just for the sake of it?
Well, that encourages us to nurture the body. That gives us an opportunity to comfort the body. Because a lot of the dissatisfying thoughts, a lot of the unwholesome thoughts that we're having is because the body is not comfortable. There's discomfort in the body, there's dissatisfaction, there's unhappiness in the body. And so we have thoughts like, oh, well, maybe if I go do this, then I'll be comfortable, then I'll be satisfied, then I'll be happy.
Hmm. And let's say if like our mind's in the body, right? And then we're completely satisfied with everything. Like, do we just like maintain in that state till we die, or like
Sounds good to
what's
me. Yeah, why not?
but how does it help anyone? Like if someone
Because when other
like
people see that, they'll say, oh, I want some of that too. It's kind of like when you smile at other people, they will often smile back. So if you show other people that you can be happy and satisfied, regardless of what's going on in the world, they'll give that a go as well. They'll say, oh, if they can do it, why can't I? But a lot of people walk around and they see everyone else is satisfied, so they think, well, this just must be the way things are and the way things should be. That we should be upset and dissatisfied and filled with unhappiness.
What prevents us from being satisfied all the time while still doing actions that are beneficial to both ourselves and others?
Basically, just having unwholesome thoughts, lying to ourselves, telling ourselves that things aren't good enough, telling ourselves that we need to get something or we need to go somewhere in order to be at peace. But instead, we can have thoughts like, oh, things are peaceful already. And enjoy the breath right now. Take a nice, soothing breath.
What about like people who like suffer from war and all those stuff? Like how can we help them this way?
It's still the same. Even someone who's been through war, if you smile at them, they're likely to smile back.
Hmm.
In fact,
Yeah, but
that's a
how do we?
really great way to help people. It's just a smile.
Yeah, I see the benefit of smiling, but like, how do we quantify the value of that compared to, let's say, value of going out there, uh, actively helping people versus like sitting here, meditate, and like just so set an example for people. Like,
Well, the truth is that you can't quantify the value of it because it's completely unknown. But you can see the value for yourself. You can see the value of, oh yeah, it is worthwhile to be happy and at peace. But only you can see that by practicing it. Nobody else can see it for you. And the truth is the people who are on the battlefield, if they were happy and at peace too, they would stop fighting with each other. If the governments, the kings, the leaders, if they were happy and at peace, they wouldn't declare war on one another.
mhm. The question is, how do we like cause everyone to be at peace?
Well,
Or
you can't get everyone to be at peace, at least not right now. That's a faraway goal. In fact, you don't even have a correct perception of everyone. Everyone is just this faint idea. You've never seen everyone. The only thing that you have in touch with in reality that's at least close to real is the body that you're currently in and the mind
uh
and the breath. That's the only real thing that we have to play with.
yeah, and that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do things to help people in ways that.
And what I'm saying is the thing to do is to play with that mind, that body, and that breath, which you can make a change to.
Oh, makes sense now. Thank you.
Yeah. Because you can't change how someone on the other side of the world is breathing. Just like I can't change how you're breathing right now, but I can point to, hey, you can make a change to your breath right now. If I could breathe for you, I would, but I can't. But I can remind you, hey, it's worthwhile to have a breath that's easygoing. It's worthwhile to practice having a breath that really feels nurturing, that really feels nice.
So once we're aware of the breath, what do we do with that information? Or do we just like sit with it?
Well, we play with the breath.
How?
Let's see if we can make the breath a little bit longer. Let's see if we can make the breath even more comfortable, more relaxing. Let's play with really enjoying the breath even more. Let's have fun with the breath. And with that, we can have a wholesome thought like, oh, this is such a nice breath. Or let's breathe in a way that feels really good right now. You can also play with the breath by adjusting the body. If there's tension in the shoulders, we can rub the shoulders, rub the neck, move the back, massage the legs, and then take another breath and see, oh yeah, that feels so great. And if we have thoughts that are pulling the mind away from the breath, we can just say, oh, don't need to worry about that right now. Let's just play with the breath, practice taking it easy. Don't need to worry about anything.
And I'm curious, what's wrong with worrying? Like, can't we worry in ways that are beneficial to ourselves and others and while feeling wholesome still?
When we worry, it affects the breathing. In fact, a lot of times when we worry, we'll stop breathing. And when we're not breathing well, that means we don't think as clearly. We don't act as clearly. We don't act as well. In fact, some people will get so worried that they'll have panic attacks and they'll start hyperventilating where the breath goes. And then it becomes really difficult to do hardly anything at all. That's when worry has completely taken over the mind. So we can see and we can look at what happens to the body when the mind is worrying. How does the breath respond to that? And then we can make a wholesome change to get the body more comfortable, bring the mind to peace. And the truth is about worrying is it's unnecessary. There's no need for it. It doesn't help anything.
Also, like let's say if you're in a situation where you're prepared versus not prepared, wouldn't like preparation and like thinking about it like help with like dealing with situations that you're not familiar with and help you kind of like it also automatically helps the body as well, right? Because like let's say if you're in a situation where your body could be harmed by something, then if let's say you worried about it beforehand or thought about it beforehand, then wouldn't that kind of help you avoid your body from being uncomfortable from the things that harm you?
So can practice being at peace now. The best way to be at peace with whatever happens in the future is to practice being at peace now. That way, if the building does get set on fire and your whole room is set ablaze, then we're not freaking out. The mind isn't stumbling all over the place. Instead, we can have a mind that's at peace and say, okay, let's go now.
Interesting.
And we can get out of that burning building joyfully. Say, yippee! Glad to be out of there. Instead of worrying about all of our things, trying to collect ourselves together. Instead, we can practice bringing the mind together now, bringing the mind together around the breath, bringing the mind together around this genuine feeling of satisfaction and this knowingness that things are okay right now. This is good enough. Just take it easy, enjoy the breath. And if the mind wanders away from the breath, that's okay. and bring the attention back. Say there's nothing to worry about. Happy to just be here with breath. And wholesome thoughts, thoughts of joy, can really bring genuine peace to the mind. Glad to be experiencing this body. Glad to be alive. Glad to not have to worry about anything. And that's all there is to the practice right there. Any unwholesome thoughts come up, we can be glad to see those too. Oh, happy to see that unwholesome thought. That's just another pointer reminding us that, hey, there's a little bit of dissatisfaction here. So let's practice taking it easy.
What can we learn from this experience? Like,
The only thing to really know is that things are okay. What we can learn is that, yes, it is possible to get out of dissatisfaction and to be satisfied. That's the thing to learn. And we can really only learn that by practicing this over and over and over and over again. The first step is to practice it in your room or in a place of seclusion. The Buddha would say at the foot of the tree, in an empty hut, or on a pile of straw, far away from the world. And then if you can practice being satisfied on your own, and you can practice being satisfied in the world too when you're around other people. Giving that wholesome reminder that things are already okay. Don't need to worry about anything. Let's practice enjoying the breath and taking it easy.
Thanks, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, go practice this. You can make a routine out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to give another call soon.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice meeting you, Matt. I
Oh yeah, same.
welcome you to make friends in our community and
Mm-hmm.
continue interacting in Sangha as part of the
Mm-hmm.
Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. So this call has brought us both great benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for
I'm
that.
curious, how does it benefit you?
It reminds me too.
Oh, nice.
Oftentimes it's painted as a bad thing, need to be reminded. But instead we can say, oh, it's worthwhile to remind ourselves of this. It's fun to remind ourselves of it. And it's enjoyable to remind friends as well. So this call has reminded me and it's reminded you that, hey, things are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it easy and have fun.
Nice.
All right, Matt. I'll see you later for now. Swati
Oh
krap.
yeah. ครับ สวัสดีครับ Have a nice day.
Oh, thank you. Have a nice moment. Enjoy this breath, friend.
Okay. You too.
Okay, we'll see you.
Yeah.